This will be the scene in the coming weeks as grains will be coming out of the field by the bushels. And with so much being harvested around the state, it's essential to properly store the excess.
You know, the important thing on stored grain is that the grain is its best quality that's ever going to be the day you put it in the bin. So what we need to do is focus on how do we maintain that grain quality through the storage process.
But maintaining that high quality is not easy, as the grain can be in storage for an extended amount of time.
You can store grain for several months in South Georgia. We store grain over the winter and typically sell it either when the price gets good or, till the next spring or sometime when the price is better than it was at harvest.
And there are a number of other things farmers need to be on the lookout for when putting their grain into storage, ranging from pests to bin sanitation.
The two areas that I get pulled into the most would be extreme weevil infestations, where we have a sincere loss of grain quality, and so we get into some real dockage issues there. Occasionally we run into some fumigant issues where the grower uses too much fumigant, and we've got some residues that we need to get rid of. And the other thing would be when we've got moisture pockets when we have to deal with aflatoxin, and that's definitely a huge discount for us.
Probably the biggest problem would be weevils, corn weevils, and so we can do a lot of things to help with that. We can treat the grain going in the bins, we can practice bin sanitation, clean bins, just a lot of different things we can do to help prevent that.
If you plan on keeping grain in storage for a longer period of time, it's a good idea to prepare for that on the front end.
Typically in South Georgia anyway, if you're storing for more than 6 months, it's really important to put some kind of a grain protectant on there. And so we'll talk about some different options. There are some new insecticides that are available in the last year or two. They're going to enable our growers to store grain which a little bit with less problems than we've had previously. And how to apply those as the grain is going into the auger is very, very important, and how to get each kernel coated thoroughly.
Now, not all storage bins are made the same, which means it's important you choose the right one that fits your needs.
That's really important in terms of airflow and being able to manage temperature and the moisture content in the grain. And so we're going to talk a little bit about fans and pushing versus pulling, how to avoid hot spots and wet areas of the grain that would favor insects to colonize those areas.
While there is a lot of work that goes into properly storing your grain to maintain its high quality, there has been a lot of progress to make the job a little bit easier.
Stored grain has been plagued for a long time with a lack of available products. In the last 2 years, we've been able to add 2 new classes of chemistries, and that's really advantageous because we don't have insect resistance problems with those. So I feel like we're in a great place. We've got opportunities to rotate, and we've got very efficacious products.
Reporting from Glenville, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.